Hi all, so this video is on what car will I buy after my Golf R. I've had a few people ask me the question. It's a funny world we live in where when you buy a brand new car, people want to know what are you going to buy next. But that's society we live in, I suppose. Everybody wants the latest thing. The funny thing is, right, as I said in a couple of videos ago, I was going to test drive the Porsche 718S Spider. Originally I wanted to do the Cayman S, but they're not coming into the UK until October now because apparently Porsche have shifted the factory in Germany and it's delayed production. So they were going to let me test drive this 718. He never got back to me, so bollocks to him, I'm not interested. But he sent me the spec sheet through, and for £60,000 you get a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder single turbocharged engine. It doesn't have Apple CarPlay. It comes with the PDK box. It comes with the 911 turbo wheels, which I don't like. I think they look shit, if I'm honest. Excuse my French. And it's got front and rear reverse parking sensors. The Golf R's got that. It does 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. The Golf R does it in 4.8. It's not sure what the road tax is, but it should be on par with the Golf R, I would have thought. The only exciting thing about the car is it'll obviously have a better chassis than the Golf R, because the Golf R is a hatchback. But having said that, this is a Spider, so maybe it won't handle that well. Maybe it'll be, because it's been reinforced due to lack of roof, maybe it'll be crap in handling. Maybe, you know, to be fair, you should compare this car with, if you're going to talk about sports cars, you'd compare it with the Cayman. But my point is, right, this car was 36 grand and you get all these features and all that, and the Porsche is double that, nearly double that. It's £60,000 for pretty much the same thing, except it's a Spider. And what that means is, if you're flying along down the M1 doing it 70 miles per hour, you're going to get a lot of wind noise. Now I asked him that, I said, what's the wind noise like? And he goes, oh yeah, it's alright. I mean, it is a cabriolet, bear in mind, but, you know, with it being Porsche, it's better than anything else. And I thought to myself, well, how can that be? It's a roof, it's a retractable roof, so it's going to have wind noise at speed, so it'll probably be crap. Then when the hood's down, your hair's going to be blowing everywhere because there's no rear wing guard. So, to me, that scratches a Spider out of the way. Just correcting myself, there is no 718 Spider S, sorry, it's the 718 Boxster S. There are two variants. There's the 718 Boxster, which is a 2 litre engine, and there's the S, which is the 2.5 litre engine, both with a single turbo, both 4 cylinders. I've also got to add that this car is a used car, believe it or not. They're asking £60,000 for a used Boxster S. It's also on a 66 plate, and it's only done 1,000 miles, so it makes you wonder why the previous owner got rid of it so quickly. Did they run into money problems, or is it a crap car, or what? I noticed this with Land Rover as well, the SVR. There was a brand new, they called it pre-owned, but there was a 16 reg SVR there, and it was £88,000, when a brand new one is 110,000, and this used one was better equipped as well. It was more loaded. So, unbelievable. I'd love to know what Porsche paid for this 718S. I bet they paid peanuts. I bet they offered the previous owner 30 grand. And then they'll make money on the finance as well. So dealerships, they're making more money than probably drug dealers. So anyway, back to the video. Would I go for an Audi? I wouldn't go for an RS3 because the performance between this and that are too close. So that scratches that. I wouldn't go for an RS6 because it's too big and bulky, and I'd miss the agility that this car offers, and that's why I chose another hot hatch. It's the fact that I didn't really care about practicality. This is my toy, I use it just in weekends, and I just use it for a hoot. So a Porsche would have been realistic for me, a coupe BMW would have been realistic for me, even a Alfa Romeo 4C would have been realistic for me. A 2-seater, basically trap car, would have been suitable for me. So, looking at what options are available, to replace a Golf R at 36 grand retail, you've got to spend supercar money. you know, to tick all the boxes, to have the power, the agility, the fun while driving, you probably would have to, and to justify the increase in cost, because if you go back to the Cayman S, yes, the 718 Cayman S will be a better driver's car. You know, it will give you far better steering feedback, it will give you better chassis feedback and road feedback, but you know, on a public road you don't really care about things like that, because public roads are never going to be as smooth as a racetrack. You don't want to feel every little bump and nut and cranny. You don't want to feel all the potholes, because quite frankly you'd end up with a bad back. So you know, it's all about keeping it real. You know the saying, keeping it real. A car like a Golf R does that. It's a performance car, but it does the everyday thing as well. And you know, to answer the question, what would I replace it with? It's a very difficult one. I mean, if I were a millionaire, easy, I'd get a 911 turbo without blinking. You're looking at basically the similar sort of car, only it's quite practical. You can get them in 4-wheel drive variant, or I'd aim for rear-wheel drive. And you know, you've got the agility, the power, the handling. It probably would be the best, in an ideal world, the next step up. But then what are you looking for? A 911 these days, brand new, 120 grand, is it? For a 911 turbo? Not quite sure, I haven't looked in a long time. I mean, the last time I was looking at 911s, it was back in 06 when the facelift came out. I absolutely love that car. So yeah, it's, you know, realistically, what would you replace a Golf R with? And you know, from what I can see, there isn't. It'd be good to get your feedback on that. What would I replace it with? I mean, if I was going to replace it with another hatchback, ideally I'd want more cylinders and a bigger engine. I don't want to spend the rest of my life driving a 4-cylinder car. Yeah, they're getting faster, yeah, they're turbocharged, and this car does 60 in 4.8 seconds. But you know, if we use the Ferrari FF as an example, what's that, a 6-litre V12, and it's a 4-wheel drive hatchback? I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's a Marmite car, not the best looking car in the world, but then neither is the Golf R. That's not the best looking car in the world. When it comes to hatchbacks, trying to make them look good in a sexy car sort of way, it's very difficult to do that. You know, you're fighting practicality, and that's why supercars usually aren't very practical, because they're so beautiful. So to me, really, if I was going to go for another hatchback, and this is my 5th hatchback, I've had a Nissan Micra for my first one, and I had loads of Hondas, and I've got this one. It would be difficult to replace it. In reality, right, if you wanted the same power, agility and performance with practicality, you probably would buy another Golf R. You'd probably go for the Mark 8. And I can't do that. Now I've experienced this, I'd like to try something new. I'd love more cylinders. And you know, for me, it will probably be the BMW M2. It's not much quicker than this, but it's not much more expensive either. I mean, you can get a box standard, you know, manual box, not the DCT. I think it's DCT. The DCT, I believe, is 48 grand. And you know, if you consider that this was 36 grand, that's not really a bad leap. It's only 12 grand more, and I say it only, it is a lot of money, but it's still realistic. It's a realistic jump from this to an M2. The only thing that puts me off the M2 is, although it ticks all the boxes, you know, it's 6-cylinder, it's a twin turbo, it's 0 to 60, it's 4.2, 4.3 seconds. It's been given car of the year by pretty much every journalist. It's been chosen as the preferred car over the 718 Boxster S. Sorry, not Boxster, the Cayman S. Probably because the Cayman is a 4-cylinder now, not a 6-cylinder, and it's a single turbo. And that does, you know, to ask 60 grand for a car like that's very cheeky in my opinion. But yeah, so it makes the BMW M2 look good value. 3-litre 6-cylinder twin turbo at 44 grand starting. The way things are going, it looks like my replacement car will be a BMW M2. And I have tried to test drive the M2, but there just aren't any in the country at the minute. But by the time I'm ready to get rid of this, there should be plenty of choice used on the market with lots of discount. As I said in another video, there's loads of used ones for sale at the minute. They're asking well above retail because they're trying to make a profit. but they've been for sale for ages, so the market says, well, no, you're asking too much. So yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd go for an M2 basically. Be interesting to see what you think. I'm obviously different. I don't need a hatchback. I haven't got kids to worry about, and if I did, I've got my Land Cruiser. So yeah, it's all about, for me, having a toy and within my budget, and it would be the M2. Cheers.